So today we're going to show you how to build this pallet planter box. Now we've got all of our wood off our pallet, just trying to figure out how much wood we actually have. We only had about a half a pallet. As you can see, this pallet only had planks on one side, so we're going to work with what we've got. You can pry all the boards apart and remove the nails to yield the most wood possible. But it is much faster to skill saw through and get short planks. Pay attention to the markings on the side of your pallet. HT means heat treated and is safe to plant things like fruits and vegetables in. Now we've got all of our wood off our pallet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what our smallest side is going to be. That way I can cut everything to match. So you could either build a rectangle or a square. I just measured out to figure out what our shortest piece of wood is, which is 17 inches. We could make two sides that are a little bit longer if we really wanted, because we've got a teensy bit more, but just to keep it easy, we're gonna keep it as a square box and each side's gonna be 17 inches long. Next, I just have to figure out what height we're gonna go with, because some of our pallets aren't made super standard, so some of the pieces of wood are really skinny like this, and then some of them are a lot wider like that. Half the fun of doing a pallet project is being flexible and willing to make changes based on what you have. So with most of the pallet lengths that we had, the shortest one, like I said, was about 17 inches, and the longest was like close to 18. There's not a ton of variance there, so we're actually not going to cut them down to make them perfect with our design that we're going with. What we're going to actually be doing here is we're going to be making some corners like this and just fitting that pallet wood in there to create the sides, so we don't have to have exact cuts. Pallet was a little short because it was only about a half a pallet, not a full pallet. So we didn't quite have enough wood to create corners with the design that we're going for. So we had some spare wood in the garage that we're gonna use instead for our corner pieces. So if you did have plenty of pallet, it would be super duper easy just to use pallets. So we determined that the height of our sides is gonna be about 14 inches tall. We wanted a couple of inches to leave for some feet so that way it doesn't sit directly on our deck. We're gonna make these 17 inches tall. So we're just gonna measure that out and then go ahead and start cutting them. So if you don't have a miter saw, it's super easy just to do it with a regular hand saw as well. So we had just some exterior screws from a different project lying around that are the right length. So we're gonna just go ahead and pop these guys in there to make our corners. Pre-drill. So we just tried it without pre-drilling and it split. So instead we're gonna pre-drill.
What does pre-drilling do?
If you pre-drill, it'll keep the wood from splitting. There we go.
What do we have?
We got a corner.
How many times do we have to do that?
4 times, because there's 4 corners on a square. So to save us some time cutting, right, we left all of our sides with different lengths without like having the exact perfect amount of length. We left enough space on both sides, that way we don't have to cut those ends to be perfect. So we've got some play to work with as we seal these in. This method makes it easy to make rough cuts and still end up with a nice finished look. So we also had some panel nails that are actually a little bit shorter than our screws. Our screws, if we decided to sink them, would sink through the wood. So we're gonna try out some panel nails. Here, we lined up the second set of corners to make both sides even. A few short nails tack the planks into the corners. Next, position the two sides so you can tack planks into the third and fourth side. Cool, so we've got our four sides all set. So now we need to measure our base and then build the base to put in. We measured out 2 boards to fit along the bottom edges. These became the rails for the bottom planks to sit on. We used screws instead of nails for this step because it was going to take the weight of the boards for the bottom. Now you're just gonna set them in. You can either secure them with some screws or nails again, or you could actually just leave them loose. Just know that you're not gonna be able to really move your planter once you have it where you want it to be. You could be done here if you want. If you wanted to add some finishing strips around the top, you can also do that. Here's our finished box. We did end up putting some finishing touches on the top and added some mitered edging. We just think it looks a little bit more professional and nice. So we're ready to add some soil to it and get planting. If you wanted to, you could line it with some black plastic just to keep your soil from going through and also slow down the deterioration of your wood. But that's totally up to you. If you're not worried about it rotting out eventually, then throw stuff in. The grand total that we did out of pocket for this pallet project was $0.00. We ended up just using materials we had laying around, which is what we would suggest you do at home as well. Admittedly, this bag of soil was $7.
Looks like
There are a lot of ways to make a pallet planter box, but this method looks really good when it's finished. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.